that we've made in the last year. We've invested over $1 million into the application, and it's pretty substantially changed even from when you last saw it. So one of the biggest changes that we made is we made it 3 different layers or levels instead of 2. We used to have organizations and communities. We've now created the capability of what we call a master company. And I don't think you're seeing my screen yet. Are you seeing my screen? You are, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in this application, we now have the master company where you can actually create a network of people that are grouped together. So if you had a nutritionist that worked with you, or a massage therapist or a chiropractor, you can create a master company and then have those people as chiropractors or massage therapists that are complementary services in your network. So inside of your master company, and then they can create communities underneath them. So if I'm a organization, let's just say that I'm a massage therapist or a health club, I can be an organization underneath your master company. I can have a like branded community underneath my community so that it's branded with my logo and colors and information. But I can also have as many other communities that I wanted to create for things like corporate wellness or apartment complexes or any other type of community that might make sense to be teamed up with what you're creating as a master company organization. So thinking about this from your perspective, if you have friends that are like-minded with you that would join your network, you could take a small piece of all of those people that would sign up underneath them. So if they signed up, you could take 50 cents or $1 or $2 or whatever the appropriate piece of all of the transactions for an entire network. So thinking bigger than just your network, you can actually group together numerous people. And obviously, you knowing about this ahead of time gives you an advantage of what would be an option for you to choose and to work with. I don't know if the today's page was advanced the last time that you saw it. It's been a while. But we've completely redone the My Plan page, or what we call today's page. And in the today's page, we've connected with all of the different wearable devices that are popular these days, and one that we're currently adding. So we're connected with all Fitbit, Garmin, MyZone, Apple Watch, HeartMath, and we're in the process of just finishing up a connection with a company called Withings. And what Withings does, if you have the ability to collect on Medicare CPT codes, as an example, is they have a scale and a blood pressure cuff that's connected to a specific user. And if the user weighs themselves 16 times inside of a month period of time, it generates a CPT code. And over a month period of time, you can actually generate $203 of CPT codes for a client if you have that capability of billing the Medicare insurance. So on the today's page, we collect all of that data still in the stats. We do also have a quite extensive upgrade on the nutrition module. So in the nutrition module, you still get to pick your grocery list for up to 2 weeks, your nutritional preferences that picks the flavors and spices and ethnicity of foods that you prefer, so that each of your users that are coming into the platform can pick what they like based on flavors and spices. They could exclude any foods that they might want to exclude. I don't think that I started the recording, did I? Darn it. I'm gonna back up a little bit and start that, if you don't mind.
It says recording on my end.
Oh yeah, okay, I did. So I'll never mind. So anyway, so they can record all their exclusives. They can put all their information in. All of that still remains the same. We are in the process of adding in a vegan recipe plan so that it is a little bit more than your vegetarian plan if someone selects vegetarian. But all of these options are available. But we've also incorporated in the capability of adding supplements in. So if you have a specific line of supplements, you can add that supplement line in. the inside of the nutrition module will link right to the store to buy that supplement from whatever store you're working with that you may make a commission on. So when you get to the actual today's page, if you have the nutrition plan built in and the supplements added, there's a third item that comes in with the nutrition module for supplements. And then you can put in the specific supplement that you wanted to put in and a link that goes right to the buying that supplement from your store. We still have the overview with how to what saucepan to cook it in, what temperature to set the oven, all of those things still apply, along with the full nutritional analysis of what meals might have been captured and what the carb, the protein, the fats, and the nutrition analysis is for that meal plan. We've added in a new feature of these dots. Green dots means that it matches your meal plan that you should be eating in exactly. Yellow dot means it's very slightly out of category, but close. And then red dots are outside of the range of the CPF range or the caloric range, but it's still going to be a food meal that you can eat. You're not going to die if you eat a red dot meal, but it does help you get your consumers to understand what type of meal plan that they might be looking for and what meals match that closer. So you can save your meals as favorites by hitting the thumbs up on each meal if you try it and you like it, and get that meal put into your meal plan in 2 clicks. You still can search. So I can search for a keyword of salmon, or I can go in here and say that I want to do lunch. There's 62 pages of lunch. We have over 4,000 nutrition-based meals in the database now. And then you can narrow that focus down to Chinese, which then brings it down to 11 pages. Poultry brings it down to 4 pages. But this gives you a good reference to how the dots work. So you can see the first page is all green dots. When I go to the second page, it turns from green there. So there's none that are close in this particular selection, but it goes from green to red, meaning it's farther out of your caloric and CPF range than that client should be eating. Again, it's not going to kill them if they eat it. We're just trying to keep them educated to what they should be eating and why they should be eating it. So if a meal does show up slightly out of their caloric or their carb or protein ranges, it sort of flags them just to let them know what's going on. The body vision is still very similar to what we have had for quite some time. And my internet, for whatever reason, is very slow today, so apologize for that. But you can see that we do have the ability that if you've completed a phase, that it marks that off and moves you into the next phase, and it'll continue to move across with your current model till you finish your phase 4. You can change your profile at any time and reset your goals. We give you a warning if you do want to reset that, hey, it's going to change out your goals that you haven't completed. And then we've also added in inspirational photos. Not everybody's interested in weight loss. Some people want to be a better athlete or a better, whatever the case might be, that it's not necessarily weight loss. So they can put in a picture of their family, their husband, their wife, their children, their favorite movie star or actor or football player, whatever it might be, their inspiration to accomplishing whatever their goals might be. Workout is very similar to what it's always been. We have the gym workout programs that are available exercise by exercise with the exercise videos and everything that comes into a workout plan. But we've added in a lot of what we call classes, and those go under the classes and programs area. So you can find a lot of things like yoga as an example, where somebody can come in and they can do a yoga session based on a 15 or a 30-minute video following along with the yoga instructor. You also have the capability of adding these types of classes into your program. So if you do a boot camp style workout, you can do a video of you performing that workout and have people follow along with you and add that to our workout. We also have what we call programs and classes. And the programs and classes are built in, and these are put in by our medical doctors in our network, but you can also add in your own. So this is if you're trying to educate somebody that is a little bit more of a lengthy process than a single video. So if you're trying to educate people how to manage type 2 diabetes, what foods to eat one day, and the next day you might be talking about how insulin works in the body, and the next day it might be talking about grocery shopping, the next day talking about medications that are optional. All of those things can be done in lesson by lesson. And the way that that works is you can put as many lessons into a program that you want, and you can also add in downloadable support PDF files. There is a lot of these educational information that's already built into the system that you get to utilize with your clients. But the key thing here is you can also add in your own programs with lessons, or you can add in your own classes, either boot camp or yoga or Pilates or any other type of class that you wanted to record, you can record. This is another new feature that we've just recently added, is we now have the capability of you creating your own step challenge or weight loss challenge or activity caloric burn challenge, or multiple pieces from the scoring. So you, in the management section, you can now create including one or more of these options. So if you wanted to do a weight loss challenge, you could do it just based on body measurements, or you wanted to do a step challenge for the month of August, like we did here, you can set that. And so what happens in that is it'll only bring in the steps category that is also being tracked. Of course, if you go to the company, that shows all of the things that are being tracked based on scoring. But it does give you the ability to create custom challenges per organization or community. So it makes it very capable for you to sort of create your own challenges inside of a group. So if you get a corporate wellness company, you can change the challenge out every month. You can do step challenge in August, and in September, you can do a weight loss challenge or a caloric burn challenge or any other challenge that you wanted to incorporate in for that corporation. And then you can get prizes and announce the prizes that are going to be available for each of those challenges. The resources we have are similar to what we've always had. We just incorporated in 6 instead of 3. And then, of course, pictures typically to go along with each of those. And then you can open up any of these and read the full article on where the article came from and where the article was provided by. So the resources have expanded a bit, including calculators and glossary of terms. And then the other thing that we've expanded quite a bit on is health data. So everything that gets tracked with the data for this individual person gets tracked here. So you can see the steps per day of what this individual is doing. And we're in the process of adding where you can look at a 3-month or a 6-month or a 1-year view and see what their steps are over long periods of time. But right now we're focusing on the last 7 days. And then you can actually see, you know, what's happening with your particular clients. The other thing that's really nice about this is if you are in a corporate wellness environment, the corporation, as well as you, want to know what each of those employees are doing. So if they've completed any of the classes or programs and quizzes, those show up here. And I didn't mention when I was in here, but what we also have the capability of doing is when you go into a lesson or a quiz, you can set a unique passing grade. So you can actually do things like continuing education credits. You can train employees that might be working with you. And then all of this programs and classes piece is now also brought into the management section of our platform. So if you flip over to the management section of our platform, you can see that we now have, under the content and providers, we have, oh, I need to log in as a manager, not as a super admin. And I don't have my Fitbit connected here, so it's asking for that. So I have to just go around and cheat that because my Fitbit's already connected at that other community. But now underneath here, when I log in as a manager, I log into news and suggested programs and classes. This is obviously only available to view in the management section. So if you have any workers that are working with you or any people in your network from your master company level, you can put news about new members that have joined your master company. That, hey, we have a new massage therapist that's joined our group. Her name is Melissa. And, please reach out and say hello to her. And then that is available now for all of the people in your network to be able to see that have management permissions when they log in. Same thing applies under programs and classes where you can build out continuing education credits. If you're certification group, you can do employee training on how do you greet members when they come into your facility, or any other type of training that you want to do with the whole programs and lessons scenario. So you know that your employees or your team are learning what you need them to learn to be consistent in how you're delivering your message to all of your employees. Is that making sense?
Yes.
And then one of the other things that we've added that's quite extensive of an upgrade is we've added in the ability to do telemedicine through a HIPAA compliant video, as we've also added in what we call practitioner pages. And you as an expert would be able to create this practitioner page along with all of the other experts inside of your master company if you choose to add others. So what happens in there is all of those experts create a profile, and inside of that profile, if you open up you can view what their specialties are, you can view their biography, and you can create this for yourself as well. But what we've added in here is the ability to add in testimonials. So you can put in a story of how you accomplish things with different clients that you've worked with. We've added in the capability of scheduling. And so if I've recorded any kind of time slots, let me actually go to one that has a little better representation of this feature. All right, so now when I go to the member view here, and I go to resources, first of all, if you have not added any practitioner pages with that expert page that I just showed you, this find practitioners won't show up. And actually, that's not the one I wanted to show you. If we log out. Maybe I was on the right screen there. But so the practitioner pages, yeah, here's what I wanted to show you. So you can bring in multiple experts that are part of your master company. They would be partners that they would have their own websites, their own unique members, their own unique clients. They'd get paid for all of their clients based on what they're doing. But what you would be able to do is create that master company where you have this team of people. And so you can have the massage therapist and the chiropractor and the personal trainer and the nutritionist and all these people that match. And then each of the members of that group would be able to create that person as part of their care team, meaning that they're people that they're working with and scheduling with and doing sessions with and are working with whatever their expertise might be. And then I can create the profile here, or I can join the profile, but everything in the system is HIPAA compliant. So if I wanted to add Dr. Samantha Jones to my profile, it walks me through a HIPAA compliance where I can view the HIPAA policy, and then I can approve this, where this would be approved by me to now work with that client so they can see all of this specific information for me as a customer on when I go to look at all of their data. And so each of these would be able to be prepared. So if I go into this profile now as an example, and I go under my schedule a session, it brings in all of the things that I have scheduled possible appointments with. And then I can bring in either 15-minute, 30-minute, or 60-minute sessions. And we're in the process of adding 90 and 120-minute sessions. If people do have, like some massage therapists do 2-hour massages. But you can selectively put what price you want to charge for each of these. And our site will now collect those fees for you and then deliver them to a Stripe account that you create inside of our platform. And so once you put in the time slots that you have available, then it brings up what slots that are still open for your members to be able to schedule with you. Once I hit this schedule, then it allows me to put in my credit card information and everything else that I might have stored to buy that session from you. And that all gets tracked now in our management section under what we call a financial dashboard. So each one of you will create a Stripe account inside of the application. Any of your other organizations that are part of your organization will also create Stripe accounts that are connected. But what happens here is each of those individual groups now show up as separate blocks underneath you. And if I wanted to find out what was happening in each of those blocks, I can click on the details and it shows me everything financially that happens inside of that group. Everyone that's bought a program from them, everyone that's scheduled a session with them. If they've scheduled any kind of personal training sessions, they show up here. So you can set it up where you're taking a small piece of each of those transactions that goes to that master company, that you're making money from every transaction that happens. But you can see here, this goes all the way down to commissions. So if you have any managers that you have set up as sales representatives, they wouldn't have access to the fitness and nutrition tools, but they would have access to sell for you. And if you set that at a 20% commission, then they would make 20% of all the people that sign up because of them. So it does create the capability of you setting up all the commission structures, setting up your Stripe account, collecting all of your money. And then every month, there's this financial settlement done on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And so once you click on payment, all of those checks don't need to be written. It's all done digitally through the Stripe account to everyone that is earned a commission, everyone inside of your network that has earned a commission, and they get paid out on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And then the analytics data allows you to look at the aggregate data of an entire group, like a corporate wellness group, where you can put in a date range that you wanted to search for, and it brings up all the aggregate data of everything that's happening, that you can further graph and chart all of what's happening for each of these. So the information on the left is what's captured. The information on the right is how our system helps the numbers that we've tracked on the left. If you do click on any of these, it will show the data of any test data that has been done with each of your clients if they've signed a HIPAA release with you, which we demonstrated earlier in that data. So a lot has changed in the application, as you can see. And this goes all the way down to your client management tools, which I do need to log in under that other profile to see that. Let me do that real quick. So if you have the management credentials that are higher level, when you click on Client Manager, which is a brand new tab that didn't exist there, all of your appointments that are scheduled show up here. All of the information that gets tracked will remind you that you have an appointment today with Susie Smith or whoever it might be. You have a virtual office that links to a only third-party application that we have in our platform, which is a virtual office called VC, which does HIPAA compliant telemedicine sessions. And then messaging, you can message back and forth with each of your clients. If there's a message coming back and forth, you have a doctor's view from your perspective that links over to whatever message or comments that they may have made back and forth. And it's all HIPAA compliant. So if you write a new message to your client, it sends an email to them that says they need to log into the account to retrieve their message. And then they get a message, a link here that shows up that there's a new message that they need to check out. But they check it out on our platform that's behind the login credentials. So it keeps it HIPAA compliant with you and the customer. You can click on appointments at any time and see all the appointments that you have. You can also go straight to messaging and just see the messaging that's going back and forth. The availability sets the times that you're available for either telemedicine calls or virtual training, which you now can do obviously in our platform, or that you're available for one-on-one in-person training sessions. So you set your full week of when you're available for appointments. You set your pricing for any of the expertise that you have. So you can see those are the only two that have been set, but I can set them for 60-minute sessions for all of these, where I can set the per hour session for each event that I wanted to schedule. And then as I save that, that's now available for those sessions and those prices on the front end. When I go into the HIPAA, this is to do the HIPAA release forms with any clients that you have, and I don't have any clients listed in here yet. But if I had clients, they would all show up there that I can send a HIPAA release form to my client, as opposed to them doing it from my practitioner page. The Stripe account is where you set up your payment, and that's done through an international payment gateway called Stripe. So that's where you set up the payments that get automated between you and us and all of your customers and all of your people that might be part of your master company. Your profile gets created through a wizard. So this is, you can see Dr. Grimes' profile. And so it's literally very simply done, where you type in your bio, your first name, your last name, your address, and all your information that pertains to you. You put in your specialties, and I can type anything that I want here, like I can type athletic trainer. So I can add that as one of my specialties. And then that's now on my specialty link on my profile. I've added in these two testimonials. If I wanted to edit those, I can. I have a before and after picture with this particular client for that, and I can update the testimonial as I need to. And then on my last page, this basically shows me everything that I just typed in. I can save this information. I can save it to a single community, an organization, to the master company, meaning it would show up to all of the organizations that are teamed up together as an option for me to be able to see. And then all that information then comes in where I can then view my profile of how all of that gets put together. Another thing that's very important to see in this is we've also created that master company. And to go along with that master company permission level, you can create our entire platform 100% white labeled to your master company. So we've now added this additional category here. And under that master company, you have the ability to go into any of your master companies that you're working with. So if I go into this Chi Health as an example, I have only a few people that have been elevated up to have master company permission levels, and that can be just you, or can be you and a business partner, whatever makes the most sense. But in white labeling, you can white label everything that's inside of our system, all the way down to the logo at the bottom that says powered by. They used to say powered by More Active. It can now say powered by whatever your master company name is and whatever your logo is. You can send that to whatever link that you want. You can put in your own terms and conditions and privacy policy. If you want to do your own support, instead of have us do the support, you can put in your own support link. And you can even set up a unique app store link in the Apple and Android stores. You can set up your financial information at the master company level in that Stripe account also. You can communicate to your employees as well as your members. So when they schedule a new appointment, you can put in what you want that letter to say that goes out to them inside of that appointment, that, hey, congratulations for booking this appointment.